the Wyatt 6 debut and follow-up. So we spoke about it last week. You really enjoyed it, the the Wyatt 6. There's a big, long backstage vignette, lots of dry ice. Everybody's dead. Chad Gable's been shot, it looks like, through the head. I mean, he recovered enough for Raw, though.
See, I didn't understand that. I don't understand why Chad Gable was there with blood on his head or whatever. I didn't get it. Now, another thing, I'm enjoying watching the Wyatt 6. I'm enjoying watching it. But I don't know how it's going to parlay itself into in-ring, into a match. First of all, there's 5 of them already. And I don't know how they're going to incorporate. Are they heels or are they baby faces, or are they going to be like Bray and be in the middle? You see, Bray never cheated to beat somebody. He just beat them. So what is where's the heat in that? And I don't know if he convinced Vince, get it? If he convinced Vince that this was the best thing to do, and still with Vince and all his experience, why did he think that would get heat on him? It didn't, because I don't know. The Wyatts and Bray, they sold a lot of merchandise, but I can't remember one angle that he was in that I remember. Do you remember?
Well, with the Fiend thing, and then he's indestructible and that kind of thing. And you said this at the time, and at the risk of sounding redundant on 2 separate shows that I'm recording on the same day, you said, there's nothing to boo the Fiend for because he's an indestructible badass. And then I was saying beforehand, no one was booing the Terminator at the end of the Terminator. At the end, you wanted the Terminator to kill John Connor.
Yeah,
or Sarah Connor, whichever.
A very close simulation parallel between both of them, because he wasn't a heel. The people liked him. And when he go out, they'd hold their phones up or whatever they would hold up. But I never really got it. And if I was on the creative team, I wouldn't know which way to go with it, to tell you the truth. So
I think.
So did he ever work with Undertaker?
Yes, but not as the Fiend. This was years earlier, before he was the indestructible Bray Wyatt. He did work with Undertaker, and Undertaker beat him.
Well, but anyway, they're doing a, how do you say HOMAGE? Homage?
Homage. Well, I'd say homage, but you'd probably say pay homage.
Well, I don't know what to say, but that's what they're doing right now with Bray Wyatt. And it's getting over, but they're kind of doing it in a way. They're not outrunning themselves. They're doing it piece by piece by piece, because they haven't even done an angle. So they're going to piece this in place till they find their footing. Then they're going to try to do something. But I can't think ahead of where they would go with it. I'm going to be very honest. I don't know where in the hell to go with this. And by them, the creative team, taking their time with this, they don't either. I mean, that's no big slam on anybody, but if you got and Triple H probably doesn't have so he's going to ride it like it is right now. And just, so when they booked the Fiend, is it the Fiend?
The Fiend, yes.
So they're going to book him under that's Bo Wyatt's under the gimmick, right?
Yeah.
Was that him under the gimmick in the video?
Yeah. They did the split thing. We'll talk about the video in a minute, but it was, yeah. Just because you mentioned, they've got to wrestle at some point. But you'll remember this. You were watching SmackDown every single week. Bray Wyatt comes back and, he gets a huge cheer. And then He just does promos, and then he just does vignettes for months and months and months. And then at some point people did start getting sick of it. But there was like a sweet spot where for maybe like 2 months he didn't have to do anything and just tell stories, and he actually was a draw on SmackDown. He was helping the viewership at that point. So where's the sweet spot of dragging this out? I mean, in your opinion, should we drag it out as long as we can before putting them in the ring?
Well, you can drag it out if you tell a story. Up to this point, they've started a story, but I don't know how long they can go with just an interview and a guy under a mask. I don't know. Like I said, I'm lost on this one. And let's see where they go with it. I'm sure that, Bray, wherever he is, he's smiling, looking down. He's happy for his brother. And it was a very, very good interview. Because you'll watch it and there's nothing to say it's bull crap or it's this. But what I was thinking is, where is this leading? And I think most of the wrestling fans, they're listening to the interview, but at the end of it, they're going to say, okay, now where's this going? But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe they'll surprise me. But I hope they do more with it this time than they did when Bray came back the last time, because Bray did nothing because the creative team didn't know what to do. Vince didn't know what to do. See, that was completely out of Vince's wheelhouse. He's never really seen a gimmick like that, and when he came back, they did nothing with him other than put him on TV.
What do you think about Dallas's performance? Because I think it's obviously the best thing he's ever done. Because he didn't really seem to do anything beforehand.
Well, with the beard, he does look a lot like Bray. There is a strong family resemblance. And he did a very emotional interview. And we'll talk about another emotional interview in just a minute. But it made you watch it, because you kind of felt Bo missing his brother, and he explained why he missed him, wanted to be just like him. So it was, I think, a good performance on both ends. The Fiend talking to Bo, asking him questions. It's almost like he's in a counseling session with his brother. That's what they meant it to be, right?
There's one of the questions I thought was very interesting that they tackled head on is, are you exploiting your brother's legacy?
Yeah.
Do you think...
Well, I'm sure they are.
Well, yeah, of course they are. But, I mean, do you think they're doing it in a tasteful way?
Well, that's a matter of opinion. I think they are. They're not trashing his name. They're keeping him in the same form that the fans remember him. So we'll again, like my jury is out on this one, and I just think it needs more time.